Anybody ever experienced this? You look just like your father. Yeah. You acting just like your dad. That made me so mad. I was so angry about that because the example and the mark that my dad left, I didn't want to leave the same mark. But in order to get over those things, I had to start changing the way I thought. It was something where I had to start using a guiding principle, because here's what I thought about. The last question was, what mark do you want to leave for the future? I started thinking about the mark that I wanted to leave for the future. I wanted to be someone that was respected. I wanted to be someone that was considered a good guy. I wanted to be someone that people liked, that people loved. I wanted to be known. I wanted to be loved. So in order to be respected, you have to do what? Give respect. In order to be loved, you got to give what?
Philadelphia has the highest cases out of all the metropolitan cities. All the cities in the United States, Philadelphia is the highest for syphilis and gonorrhea. Guess what? Guess what is paving the way for AIDS to come in and HIV to come in a lot quicker, and for young people to get contact a lot quicker? Syphilis and gonorrhea. It opens you up and exposes you quicker to the HIV virus. Watch this. We account for only 12% of the population, African American. Did y'all hear me? African American. Only 12% of the population. But half of all HIV cases. Half, over 50% us. We're only 12% of the population. You do the math. They're building right here in the city of Philadelphia more funeral parlors, because people are dying off. And watch this, young people not thinking about it in the moment. It's good, feels great. Like, come on now, I'm invisible, I can't be heard. She ain't got nothing, she don't look like she got nothing. But 15 years from now, you're like, oh, you in the corner somewhere crying like, dang. Dang. Cool. What did you put down for 3?
Wait for my number 1.
Number 3. Yeah, what's your number 3? Getting a job you can enjoy. Anyone else had that down for their number 3? Who had it down in the top 3? No, you did? You had it in the top 3?
Acknowledge you, appreciate you, and recognize you. We need that to happen for us. So that's part of the damage done. We never really was recognized or appreciated, you see, or respected, were we? Okay, so maybe some of y'all were. I wasn't. And my father's father's father wasn't, okay? And my mother's mother's mother wasn't. So, and I'm just trying to keep it real. And so we don't keep the spread, really widen that door. We had, I think it was 1,000 in Philadelphia, 1,000 in Detroit, and only 10 was selected in Philadelphia. You know, we got more good brothers than 10 in Philadelphia, but that was the resources was available. And we thank the NAC Foundation for it. But we likewise got to open that door and find a way we get more brothers visible and appreciate them and recognize them, because it makes a whole difference in our lives. You become, I mean, that's the essence of existence.
It's your turn. You're going to perform this. The cups and the balls. Now the object is quite simple. Brandon, you're going to move the cups around like this when I tell you to. Okay? And then when I ask you to tilt the balls, you're going to tilt them like that. Okay? The object is quite simple. So here's a ball. Okay? Hold on. Wait, I'll tell you. Place the cup under the ball. The ball under the cup. And now, Brandon, do me a favor. I want you to switch the 2 outers. Just slide the 2 outer cups. Switch it. Yes. Good. Just tilt back the center cup. It's still there. We're just checking. Okay. Tilt back. All right. Now switch the center and the right cup. Just switch them around. Slide them around. Now switch the center and the left-hand cup. Slide them around. Okay. Now tilt back that cup. There you go. Even there. Tilt back that cup. There you go. And tilt back that cup. There you go. There you go. Yes, yes. So let's do this a different way. You're going to do this. We're going to place all the balls underneath the cup.
Grades, right? Teacher pulls me aside and says, Tony, you're doing pretty well in my class. And I want to tell you that I really think that you're going to do well when you graduate out of high school. She says, if you continue to buckle down and continue to get your grades to improve, you're going to get you a good government job in your own cubicle with your own phone.
Doesn't that sound exciting? So I just looked at it and I just thought to myself, I live in the hood, so I definitely don't see a lot of professionals, but I watch TV. And that little cubicle environment isn't necessarily what I'm thinking about for myself, right? But we're talking about, I graduated high school in 1996, so this was like 1994, 95-ish. That teacher is still setting a low expectation for me as a black male. And I'm not any more important than anybody else, but I don't think my story is uncommon. And I think, what can we do so that teachers begin to set high expectations for males and support them to get there?
Man, you're like 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
He sound like he kind of special ed, I'm just saying. Like, 2 Chainz. I just want to let you know. I mean, you're like Meek Mills.
Yeah.
Say yeah, Meek.
Yeah, me.
All right. How many y'all like Malcolm X?
Yeah.
Say yeah, Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm.
How many of y'all like Benjamin Banneker?
Yeah, Benjamin.
See, the hands stop falling off. Say yeah, Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin.
How many of y'all like Martin Luther King?
Yeah,
Say yeah, I have a dream.
yeah.
And yeah, I am my dreams.
It's changed my life in so many different ways to see that black men can be represented in such a well-configured space. Thanks to Dr. Lowry and her team, you see that black men can be productive if you invest in them the right way and bringing all of us into one space. It's over 900 people here right now, 200 adults, 700 youth, amazing turnout, amazing impact, young people walking out of here knowing what it takes to be a man.
The word step down, it needs to re-look. To re-look. So when I look at you, I don't see whether you have your hat to the backwards, whether you have your pants a little low. When I look at you on the first time, I don't just see a thug. When I re-look at you, I see you as really the most brilliant generation that this world will ever see.
I'm telling y'all now, for the men and the women in here, we are not doing a good job of preparing these young men to live in this society. And the situation with Trayvon Martin is historical. It's been happening since we've been in this country, but for whatever reason, we don't want to teach our children we're not teaching our children the rules of survival when they're on the street. And when I say on the street, you could be in a gated white community. You know, you could be in a community where people got $1 million homes. It doesn't matter. These young men, and I think again, we allow them to spend so much time playing video games and being involved in foolishness that we're not teaching them about life. Every young man in here should know how to use 911. If they're in a situation, they need to know, like in this situation with Khalil, they need to know. He knows that these boys are going to beat him up and take his money. He can just tell by their energy. And he got a phone on him. And so we got to make sure we teach these boys, because they had phones. See, when I was growing up, we had no phone. I know how to run. Y'all know what that is? All right, yeah, so I knew how to run. Some of y'all knew how to run? Yeah. Yeah, and so they got technology, but they don't know how to use the technology to protect themselves.
You can do anything you want to do. You have to apply yourself. You just can't, because guess what? You're not the only one on the court that want to go to the NBA at all. Floyd Mayweather wasn't the only one who put on boxing gloves like, I'm going to be the greatest. No, you have to apply yourself.
So I want you to tell me what the 5 core defining elements of a super nigga are. Because the word flows from my mouth, and then what happens is when you ask somebody what's a nigga, everybody gets perplexed. It could be anything. I don't mean that nigga, I mean this nigga. Oh, the nigga could be my brother. I say nigga as a term of endearment, but at the same time you're ready to hurt somebody, you say I'm gonna bust that nigga's ass. So you gotta define for me and our reality how nigga can occupy the same space. Why can my brother be a nigga and also my enemy be a nigga? Because I'm saying to you that that's schizophrenic. And that in and of itself is a problem that creates a lot of the division, the chaos we have in our community. Because we're lying to ourselves if we believe we can live a positive, affirming, African-centered life and still be niggas.
We need to get 10 horses into 9 stalls. You know what the easiest way that I think would be to put 10 horses into 9 stalls? Watch me. Can I do it? See, part of what I'm trying to get you to understand is that most of what happens in life is right in front of your face, but we don't know how to see it. All right, now you're starting to get loose now, right?
That technology is taking me everywhere. You know, I've had relationships with people. You know, I've probably been this close and had interactions with pretty much every celebrity you could think of. And I show that more to show that I've gotten to these places based on what I was good at, which was technology, right? It wasn't singing, it wasn't rapping. You know, I'm not a bad singer. But it was me finding my passion and giving, and all of these relationships and endeavors, being able to give these people something that they needed. And it gave me an opportunity to see that based on using my skills and passion, I can go in places that normally people don't relate to technology.
And so even in those moments where my father wasn't the person for me, or my stepfather wasn't the person for me, I played sports at every level, and my coaches at every level were like fathers to me. Very important. And so when I hear the young man not only talk about how he feels his mom may not understand his personality, but also say his dad isn't around to play ball with him, to me, that's one of those great places where a lot of us can fit in and be surrogates. Because I coached track for 10 years in high school, and some of the conversations I've had with my young men who now I see walking around the city, going out, and, you know, getting into relationships and being married in some cases, I can see this happening along the way, and I've had some of those conversations about not just what are you going to do to perform well today, but coach, how do I choose what college I'm going to go to, and oh, I'm having a problem with a girl, or something simple as I need a nice restaurant to go to.
So, understand your value and your worth. Understand that every day and every morning that you wake up, you offer the world something. What that something is up to you. You can offer that world a headache, or you can offer that world an opportunity. When you have a job, never say I work for that job. You work with that job, because when you come to work, I come to work with a talent and a gift, and I offer it to that job. And in return, they give me pay. So you have something to offer. Just as students, you come with your presence. Therefore it wasn't for you, we have no job. So you do have something to offer the world. And part of what we do as educators is to give you more tools so that your volume increases in the world. So I don't want to ever hear you say that you have nothing to offer this world.
In the front, paying attention, communicating. You are sending signals to me that you are preparing and ready for success. Right? When you sit in the front of a classroom, you're setting a type of confidence. You're displaying a confidence. You're letting the teacher know, hey, I'm ready. Now, if you sit in the back, what message do you think that sends when you sit in the back? You can't send the message that you don't care. Not ready. How many people have been, now this has never happened to me, but how many of you guys been in a situation where you didn't complete your homework last night? So you walk into class, and you know we're going to talk about homework. What do you do when you walk in class?
Put your head down.
Put your head down. When the teacher begins to call, what do you do when the teacher says, anybody can tell me the answer number 4, you ain't need your homework, what do you do? When the teacher calls, when the teacher looking for a call, what do you do? You have to go to the bathroom.
Now I want to speak to the students who are here. And I'm calling you men. Black male development, men here. You have choices, so many choices to make each and every day. You got a couple bad choices you can make, and a lot of really good choices you can make. Today's choice, giving up a beautiful day when you could be sleeping, or you could be playing, or you could be doing something fun, is a smart choice. And so BMDS means black men do smart. Yeah?
I gotta figure out a way to change their context. I gotta figure out a way to get you guys to think that it's okay to fail. All right? And also, as adults, we gotta get hip to the game. Because y'all far behind. LOL. So, let me just ask a simple question. Who on the back's on Facebook? Okay, thank you very much. Who's on the back's on Twitter?
Okay, thank you very much. Who's on the best on Instagram? Okay, no, thank you very much. Anybody on Tumblr? Okay, thank you very much. Digio? We got any Digio? Okay. We got any Interact? Now y'all looking at, oh, see, I got you on Interact. See, there's something went up on you. See, the whole thing is that there's all kinds of gaps that exist. So the whole thing is, if you're really trying to create context, you got to understand their context and try to match it with yours. Oftentimes, the easiest way to get interaction is just understand and say stupid things from time to time. Like Jay-Z's the worst rapper ever.
Well, see, that's the thing. Some people on the fence said, "Oh, but it's just makeup, it's just character. That's all it is." To some, right? Remember, we talked about who has the power to create, who has the power to decide. But see, to others, Robert Downey's role, where he's actually playing a black character, the overwhelming majority of the movie, in which he was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor award the same year your first black president was inaugurated in 2009. The question is, to what degree does it harken back to this old art form called minstrels, who's a very popular form of entertainment for white males with black in their faces and talking exaggerated motions, imitating what they thought was black culture, kind of like the hip-hop video.
Hi, my name